Do I need neighbour support? Okay, so when it comes to a town planning application, you don't technically need neighbour support. However, I'm going to suggest that it's going to greatly benefit you if you at least engage with the neighbours, or better still, obtain their support before going through the town planning process. Now, I say that for two key reasons. First and foremost, when it comes to the application process, it's going to kind of streamline and smooth out the process and increase your chances of success. And I say that because when it comes to assessing an application, let's just say you're doing a reduced side setback, or you're doing additional building length or additional site cover. When it comes to those applications, we need to demonstrate that the additional something, whether it's reduced setback, etc., is not going to generate any additional or new adverse amenity impacts to the neighbours. Let me say that again. I kind of waffled that. New amenity. Oh, let's try this again. New adverse amenity impacts. So by that, I basically mean we're not going to generate any additional impacts to overshadowing, privacy, access to sunlight, daylight, all of that sort of stuff. So when we're making that argument, if we have a neighbour's letter of support, it kind of seals the deal, because what neighbour is going to provide their support if there's going to be negative impacts for them? So it kind of evidences our whole argument. Like I said, helps to streamline things and smooth it through council. Now, secondly, if people have no idea that there's any construction planned, and their first understanding or their first insight, what am I trying to say? Evidence, idea, let's go with idea. First idea of any sort of construction happening is when the truck rolls up, they instantly assume the worst. They instantly assume there's going to be a 10-story building popping up on site, and their mind just starts racing. You might be doing like an itty-bitty little carport or a pool, but if they have no idea what's happening, they assume the worst. And people get defensive, they start panicking, it leads to a lot of complaints, it leads to a lot of time wastage, money wastage, stress that can be avoided. Well, sometimes it can be avoided. So yeah, I strongly encourage people to have a chat and engage with the neighbours early in the design process so that they are aware of what's happening and they don't unnecessarily jump to conclusions and just panic and all that sort of stuff. Now, obviously, this doesn't always work in every situation. Sometimes the neighbourly relationships aren't the best, let's just say. Obviously, if that's the situation, let sleeping dogs lie. Don't go stirring those hornets' nests up. But yeah, if you don't have a negative relationship with the neighbours, I would always encourage people to at least talk with them. And if there's an opportunity there, get the letter of support before starting down the town planning process. Okay, I think that covers off everything I want to talk about today. As I always like to say, until next time, thanks for watching.
For all you red tape lovers out there, I have one thing to say. Well, no, actually, I've got three. Number one, the advice provided in these videos is general in nature. It's not site-specific. You would be a silly Billy to go and make financial decisions based on this advice without first checking with the town planner. Don't be a silly Billy. Number two, Brisbane town planning is in no way linked to Brisbane City Council. The views expressed in these videos are my own, not council's. So if you don't like them, blame me, not council. Number three, what was my number three? Oh yeah, the views expressed in these videos are accurate at the time of recording. If you're watching this video back 10 years from now, the views may not be so accurate. That's all.